All right, good evening, you mostly handsome bastards. Your friendly look-alike neighborhood meth dealer is here to run down this past week. I'm just going to go ahead and skip the first 3 weeks. Sorry to interrupt your Cubs game or your HQ trivia or your last week's South Park or whatever else it was that you were doing. So, first and foremost, and I got the scores up on the screen behind me, so I might be referring to them. I let everyone down, and I'm sorry. I talked a lot of shit, thought I was going to beat Teray, even though it never really looked like there was a prayer, and then there was one, and then it didn't happen. I crapped the bed, that's on me, and Mike Evans, and Kenyon Drake, and Rob Gronkowski, and thanks to Le'Veon fucking Bell, I'm stuck starting Kenyon Drake and a bunch of timeshare backs, but we're not here to just talk about me. Moving around on the other parts of the scoreboard, Steve and Matt had a pretty tight game going in what I'm just going to refer to as the Dipshit Bowl. Popping open your bench scores, it was 71 to 56 on bench points. That's like a shitty week for your starting teams. And you guys suck. Even though Matt is like stacked with running backs and is 3-1, but I mean, first you got Steve making all the jokes about the guys on his bench, and then continuing to suck through the rest of the weekend, and then Matt going solo as to compare himself to Steve, which no one should ever do, ever, especially now with the records and the bad team name. I mean, I'm loving the video game references, but come on. All right. Speaking of running backs, how did we allow Dan to have Zeke, Kareem, and Jordan Howard all in his starting lineup? Like, I bet if there's anywhere else, like, in the country, people are like, holy shit, bro, Jordan Howard's in a flex? And I'm starting to agree with all the keeper naysayers. This is what keepers does. James White put up 26 on the man's bench, and I can't even break his stones for it. And I want to. I really want to. Insulting Dan is like half of the reason I'm still alive. And I can't even turn around and rip on Russ because he had plus matchups everywhere. It's not his fault the rest of his team shit the bed. Like, I want to say something about how LaShawn McCoy shouldn't even be starting for anybody, but there's a rookie quarterback there. Turn and give. Turn and give. Turn and give. And he's not doing it. Like, what is wrong with people? Sorry, there's a lot of rage going on this week because I'm coming off a really bad loss. In this week's Toilet Bowl, Roland and Miguel fighting for victory and just, I don't know, scraps of pride. Okay, I really don't have a lot to say on that one, actually. But it's okay. I'm not really worried about either of them at least catching up to me because Roland just blew his entire treasure trove of free agent money on, number 3 wide receivers, and Miguel has Russell Wilson starting at quarterback, and Russell Wilson's going to get sacked like 174 times this year as a rough estimate. So, both of you can just keep chilling at the bottom of Matt's power rankings. Speaking of, fuck your power rankings. And then finally, 4 weeks in, I think we should just give the belt to Phil now. Maybe he was just upset about the years of identity questioning, even though he keeps showing up to things. Maybe he was upset because Teray gave him a shitty team name. That's right. Team name sucked. But seriously, run down the man's roster. Like, I can't even rip on Frank this week for losing to him because plus matchups everywhere. He's got Deshaun Watson. He's got Carson Wentz coming back. I thought I had the best wide receiver group. I was giving Steve shit before. I was like, I have like 6 guys that are in the top 30 every week. But like this motherfucker has Hopkins, Green, Woods, Sanders, and like they're all going to be in playoff contention. So at the end of the season, when it's like playoff time, he's still going to be steamrolling all of us just with his goddamn wide receivers. And even when you try to find a weak spot, George Kittle, who you're like, it's a shitty tight end playing for a backup quarterback. It's his fucking college teammate. Like, I just don't... Anyway, so that's where we're at. Quarter of the way through the NFL season. I'm not going to try to figure out the fractions through the rest of our season. The upside to all of it is it doesn't necessarily look like Teray's going to repeat, which is good. I mean, it's really at the end of the day, it's really anything all of us want. That's it. I got nothing else. had I had a little more success this week, I'd have some more insults. I'm hoping this can light a fire and maybe get some of you guys to be a little more active and talk a little more shit. We can't have Teray carrying the mantle for that, too. You know? I'm going to seem too reliant on the guy. Anyway, have a good week. I hate all of you, and I wish you all the worst.